Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about soursop trees, another way to propagate them besides doing grafting, okay? Obviously you can grow a soursop tree from a seed and then you can graft onto it to get a really good variety that you know is going to produce a certain type of fruit, certain size with certain characteristics, right? Very heavy production, disease resistance, all that stuff. So there's another way you can propagate trees, and that's air layering. And for a while now, I've been propagating a lot of trees by air layering and also by grafting. You've seen my cacao videos, I'm sure, and in those videos you'll see the cacao trees that I have grafted. But this is not grafting, this is called air layering. And the Miami Soursop, which is one of the varieties that I picked up a couple of years ago from my good friend Julian in Miami, he grafts everything. I don't think he does any air layering, but air layering and grafting have certain benefits, okay? Today we're going to talk about how we got to this point. See that beautiful roots that are on here? And it's like a little ball. The reason it's got a little ball like that is because in this case, and you don't have to use this, you can use traditional cellophane with some hormone, and then you can go ahead and wrap it up and then put aluminum foil on it, and it works just as well. But these are becoming very popular. These are like these little snap-on little globes that you put on the tree. So this was done on 6/2, right? So it was 3 months. So 6/2 to where we are today, which is September 12th, a little over 3 months it took to get that little beautiful root ball going. And if you'll look here, I'll zoom in a minute and you'll see our little Miami Soursop Air Layer. So behind me I have 5 trees in 15-gallon containers. These are all Miami Soursop trees that were actually grown over a year and a half ago. These are about a year and a half old. They started out small like this, and now you can see they're about 6 foot tall in the 15-gallon pots. And these will begin producing right away. As you can see, this one, I'll show you a close-up of it. This one actually has flowers. Right there you can see the flower, and you can see a flower up here. If you grow one from a seed, yes, you'll get a nice little tree over time, but you really won't know what you're getting, and it might take 5 years. Typically it's 3, but sometimes it'll take longer, and you can have a long wait. And 5 years is a long time, especially if you're getting up there in the age like I am. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you real quickly, just simple, you know, how to not how to propagate, but how to plant this in a little pot. And once you do an air layer and you remove it, it's good to put it in water. So that's a jug of water right there. And then what you want to do is, you just want to put a little bit of soil in a pot. I like to use these little ones to get them started. These are a little smaller than a gallon. This is about a half a gallon. Then when you cut it, you always leave that little stem there. All right, stick it in the pot. You can always go a little deeper. It's not a big deal. All right, so then we pot it up like this. We can add a little fertilizer later, or we could add the fertilizer now. I usually do it now, but I forgot to grab it, so we'll do this later. So I can take that bottom leaf off. All right, and we put the soil in there. Just bang it down a little bit. We'll water that in. We'll keep this in a shady spot. And then in about 1 year, year and a half, if you take good care of it, you'll have a tree, soursop tree, that's literally 5.5 to 6 foot tall, like the ones that are behind me. Let's go take a look at those a little bit more closely. They're literally 6 foot tall. There's another one over there. So there's actually, over here I have 4 actually, and I have some more on the other side of the property. You can see the trees are looking good, they're looking healthy, they're looking real nice. And now I'm going to share another little tip that's really, really important that you remember to always include in your supply of products that you're going to use to keep the trees healthy. All right, so there's a couple of other important things about growing soursop trees, but there's one that not too many people know about, and I want to share that with you. This is an interesting product that I think everybody that grows soursop trees should use. This is called iron and zinc. It's a great product. You would apply this either as a foliar, which means you spray it onto the tree, or you would apply this as a drench, which means you would pour it into the soil. So why would you use this? Well, it helps to prevent the yellowing that you often get from the leaves. It also helps to prevent problems with poor fruit set, and also it gives you more fruit. That's been my experience, and I get the idea that that's true because I've seen it happen here by using product, and I also have read that commercial operations do incorporate zinc. Zinc is very beneficial to your soursop trees, so I would definitely recommend using this product. You're going to see a huge difference, assuming that you have already a tree that's already producing, and you begin to use this. I think you'll see higher production. So again, I think you should use this, give it a shot. Anyway, the way you would use this is real simple. If you're doing a foliar spray, you would mix 2 ounces to 1 gallon, and then you would spray it on the tree. If you're going to use a drench, pour it into the soil, you'll mix 1 ounce per gallon and pour it in the soil. And I'll do that 3 times, maybe 4 times during the summer months to kind of make sure that I have a good amount of iron and zinc in that soil. It's especially important to keep an eye on trees that are grown in containers. So if you're growing any of these soursop trees in pots, and a lot of people do because they live in climates where the weather's cooler and they like to get them out of the cold. So that's a good way to protect your tree. They do not like cold weather. The other thing that's important with these trees is copper, because you do have the problems with the staining and the black spots and the fungus and the bacteria. All of that stuff can be controlled by utilizing copper. So copper spray is very important. It'll help to maintain your tree healthy. It'll make sure that your fruit is also nice and clean and not all full of spots and nasty. So copper is a good product. Some people don't want to use copper because they think it's too many chemicals, and you don't want to abuse it. Just follow the directions, you should be fine. The other thing that some people use is neem, and neem can be very good, but I haven't seen it work as well as copper. So I've begun to consider that, I got to use copper with my soursop trees. Other trees, I don't have to use copper. I can use the neem, and it seems to do fine. But with soursop trees, I really need to use the copper. Maybe if you live closer to the ocean, that would be different, because there seems to be a different air there, the salt in the air, something's going on where the trees just do much better. But if you're way out west like I am, practically in the Everglades where it's really humid, you're going to use copper if you want to have a healthy tree. Okay, so I have other videos here that talk about repotting the tree. I have a video that talks about how to take care of the trees. It talks about cold weather. It talks about stuff like that. So you might want to catch that video. Just look for that video on my channel. I'll put a link to it above. And I also have a video that talks about how to air layer. So if you want to actually make another clone, another tree just like the one that you have, and you want it to produce quickly, you could graft it. But air layering is easier and a lot more, I would say, not only is it easier, but it'll give you, you'll feel better about it, because grafting, when you're just learning grafting, it takes a lot of practice, and you'll end up losing a lot of seedlings and over until you get the hang of it. Don't get me wrong, you could graft, and I graft, but I've been finding that air layering with soursop works quite well. So keep that in mind. And by the way, if you have a tree, a soursop tree, and you're in Florida, let me know, because if you're producing some really good fruit, those trees need to be propagated, and we need to give them a name, and we need to figure out who has these trees, so we can start talking about it and creating higher quality trees, but always keeping in mind, I'm going to propagate this because this really is amazing. Okay, most people grow their soursops from seeds, and that's fine, but it's a long wait till the time you get fruit, 3, maybe 5 years. I have a tree on the property that was planted from a seed that actually is a nice tree. It grows really good. I prune it like hell. I've never gotten a fruit, and it's now on year 5. So this is the year that I'm going to decide whether I'm keeping that tree or not. And if I get rid of that tree, we're going to have to, I'm going to feel real bad about it. But you know what? I can't keep having a tree that doesn't produce any fruit. So we're going to cut it down if it doesn't produce, and hopefully it will, and it'll be amazing, and we'll keep that tree. But we're probably going to put a couple of these Miami Soursops in the ground, and I think that that's probably the better way to go, because I know what I'm getting with the Miami Soursop. A nice medium-sized fruit, weighs about 3.5 to 5 pounds. Very sweet in the sense that, I shouldn't say very sweet. It's a sweet and sour type of a fruit, but it has a pleasant taste. It's not all sour. Okay, I've been to the supermarket. I've eaten some of the fruit that they sell in the supermarket, and man, it's garbage. It's really bad. It's just pure sour, which I guess that's okay. I mean, if that's what you like. But when you got a fruit like Miami that has that kind of I'm not going to say it's overly sweet, because it's not, but it has enough sweet and sour, in my opinion, and the opinion of many people that have tasted it, where it's pretty darn good. I like it. So again, Miami Soursop, I'll be producing more of those, and I have sold some, but you know, I can never keep up with the demand for it. If you do want some more trees, just let me know, and if I don't have one, I'll tell you where you can get one. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching the video. Give us a thumbs up if you like the information, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to water this guy, put him in a little bit of shade. It's getting dark, might even rain any minute. And again, thank you so much. We'll see you again. Have a great one.